Morning sunlight slowly spread across the city skyline. For the first time in many days, the streets looked peaceful. The sky was painted in soft orange and golden colors, while a cool breeze moved quietly. Through the trees, birds sang softly above the Royal Mafia mansion, and the sound of flowing water from the giant marble fountain created a strange sense of calm. Everything looked beautiful, but in Victor DeLuca's world, peace never lasted long. Inside the massive mansion, servants quietly prepared breakfast while bodyguards stood near every entrance, watching carefully. Their entire mansion carried the silence of people, waiting for something dangerous to happen. Victor DeLuca stood alone on the balcony wearing a black shirt with rolled sleeves. A cup of coffee rested in his hand while his cold eyes scanned the city below. He had not slept the entire night. Behind him, the glass doors slowly opened. Marco stepped onto the balcony. "Boss." Victor didn't turn around. "What is it?" Marco walked closer carefully. "The city is quiet this morning." Victor finally looked at him. Too quiet. The wind moved softly across the balcony. Far away, sunlight reflected against the tall buildings of downtown, like gold shining across the city. Marco leaned against the railing. "After everything that happened, people are scared." Victor remained silent. Then he calmly said, "Fear controls cities better than bullets." Marco gave a small nod. Nobody understood power better than Victor DeLuca. Not politicians, not police, not rival gangs. Only Victor. Suddenly, a black luxury car slowly entered the mansion gates. Bodyguards instantly became alert. Several men reached for their weapons. Marco narrowed his eyes. "We weren't expecting visitors." Victor calmly placed his coffee cup down. The car stopped near the front stairs. For a few seconds, nobody moved. Then the back door opened. A tall man wearing a clean white suit stepped out. No weapons, no guards, no fear. He calmly walked toward the mansion while dozens of Royal Mafia soldiers watched him carefully. Marco whispered, "Should I stop him?" Victor shook his head. "No, let him come." The man finally stopped in front of Victor and respectfully lowered his head. "Mr. DeLuca." Victor stared at him silently. The man pulled out a black envelope. "This was delivered for you." Victor slowly took the envelope. On the front, written in dark silver ink, were only 5 words. "The city is changing sides." Marco's face hardened immediately. Victor opened the envelope slowly. Inside was a single photograph. Marco stepped closer. The moment he saw the picture, his expression changed completely. It showed several powerful business leaders sitting around a large table inside a private meeting room. But that wasn't the shocking part. At the center of the table was someone wearing the symbol of the Black Vipers. Marco looked stunned. "This can't be real." Victor continued staring at the photo silently. The morning breeze moved softly through the garden while birds continued singing peacefully around them. But suddenly, that peaceful morning no longer felt peaceful. Marco looked at Victor carefully. "Boss, if the business families are joining the Black Vipers." Victor finally spoke. "They're preparing for war." Marco's jaw tightened. "This city belongs to us." Victor slowly folded the photograph. "Nothing belongs to anyone forever." The white-suited messenger carefully stepped backward. "My job is done." Before leaving, he quietly added, "There's going to be a meeting tonight." Victor's eyes sharpened instantly. "Where?" The man hesitated, then answered carefully, "At the old harbor." Marco immediately looked worried. "That place has been abandoned for years." Victor gave a cold smile. Exactly why they chose it. The messenger quickly returned to the car and drove away. Silence returned once again. Only the soft wind remained. Marco turned toward Victor. "What's the plan?" Victor looked toward the bright morning skyline. For a moment, he looked completely calm. Then his expression slowly changed. The cold monster inside him returned. "We remind this city," he said quietly, "who truly controls it." Marco smiled slightly. Now he recognized the Victor DeLuca everyone feared. the real king of Royal Mafia. Suddenly, one of the guards ran toward them. "Boss!" Victor turned. "We found another message." The guard handed him a small silver flash drive. Marco frowned. "What now?" Victor inserted the drive into a nearby laptop. The screen turned black. Static appeared. Then, a video started playing. The room instantly became silent. A masked man appeared on screen sitting in darkness. His voice was deep and distorted. "Victor DeLuca." Marco's eyes narrowed. The masked man continued. "You built your empire on fear." The screen suddenly showed explosions, burning warehouses, dead soldiers, Royal Mafia territory under attack. Then the masked man spoke again. "But every empire falls." Victor watched silently. No emotion. No reaction. The masked man leaned closer to the camera. And soon, the king falls with it. The video ended. The screen went black. For several seconds, nobody spoke. Even the wind outside felt colder now. Marco looked furious. "Give me 1 hour. I'll find him." Victor slowly closed the laptop. "No." Marco looked confused. "No." Victor walked toward the balcony again. People who hide their faces are never the real enemy. Marco thought carefully. "You think someone bigger is behind this?" Victor stared at the city below. "Yes." The peaceful golden sunlight continued shining across the skyline. Cars moved normally through the streets. People laughed. Children walked to school. Nobody knew a war was coming. Nobody knew the city was standing on the edge of chaos. Victor placed both hands behind his back. His voice became cold again. "Tonight changes everything." Marco stood beside him silently. Below them, Royal Mafia soldiers prepared weapons, armored vehicles, and security teams across the mansion grounds. The calm morning was ending, and something darker was slowly rising beneath the beautiful sunlight. Far away, at the abandoned harbor, someone watched the mansion through binoculars. A slow smile appeared on the stranger's face. Then he quietly whispered, "Let the game begin." To be continued.